Shakur Stevenson doesn't just fight. He calculates, he controls, and when the moment's right, he devastates. From the opening bell, it's not chaos, it's choreography. Every slip, every feint, every counter lands like it was drawn up in slow motion and delivered in real time. He's not in the ring to trade punches. He's there to dismantle you. You swing, he's already gone. You pause, he punishes. And when he lets his hands go, it's not just power. It's a message. You don't belong in there with him. From Olympic heartbreak to world champion in 3 weight classes before 26, Shakur didn't rise. He dismantled everything in his path. He's more than just undefeated. He's untouchable. Luxury cars in the driveway, millions in endorsements, a brand born from the bricks of Newark. But while others flex for cameras, Shakur builds legacies in the ring, in business, and in his city. So before we break down the rise, the resolve, and the razor-sharp brilliance of Shakur Stevenson, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And if you're looking for a custom website or software solution that hits just as clean, follow the link in the description and let DesiTech Consultancy bring your digital vision to life. This isn't just a boxing story. It's a masterclass in control. Let's get started. Born as Shakur Nafi Shahid Stevenson on June 28, 1997, in the heart of New Jersey's roughest neighborhoods, the odds were never in his favor. Raised by his mother and stepfather in a city infamous for crime and hardship, Shakur wasn't just fighting opponents in the ring. He was battling the world's expectations of who he was supposed to be. By the time he was 5, gloves were already on his hands. Boxing wasn't a hobby. It was his lifeline, his escape, his identity. He trained like his future depended on it because it did. In a household of 9 siblings, pressure and poverty were constant companions. But even then, he carried something else, something intangible. A calm intensity, a sense that no matter how chaotic life got, he could always find clarity between the ropes. His style was elusive, smooth, and surgical with the kind of ring IQ that couldn't be taught, only earned through obsession and pain. That obsession took him to the 2016 Rio Olympics, where he represented the United States and left with a silver medal. He cried after that loss, not because he was weak, but because he knew he was born to be the best. As a professional, Shakur tore through the featherweight division like a storm, winning world titles in 3 separate weight classes before the age of 26. He didn't just beat champions, he dismantled them. Whether it was his brutal TKO over Jamal Herring or the masterclass performance against Robson Conceição, Stevenson made elite fighters look ordinary. His 9th-round demolition of Josh Padley in the Riyadh season was more than a title defense. It was a message to the world. This is my era. With an estimated net worth of about $10 million in endorsement deals from Reebok and PRIME Hydration, Stevenson isn't just climbing the ladder. He's building his own. After parting ways with Top Rank, he now stands at a crossroads, free to carve his own legacy. The comparisons to Floyd Mayweather and Canelo Alvarez aren't just fan talk anymore. They're real possibilities. But here's the real question. As he prepares to step into full control of his career, will the boy from Newark become boxing's next kingmaker? His boxing journey began before most kids his age even mastered the alphabet. Inspired by Olympic gold medalist Andre Ward, he didn't just pick up boxing gloves. He inherited a purpose. From Newark's gritty streets to the world stage, Shakur moved like a man possessed. By 2014, he had claimed gold at both the IB Youth World Championships and the Youth Olympics. A year later, barely out of high school, he outclassed the nation's best at the Senior U.S. Olympic Trials, punching his ticket to Rio 2016. In Rio, the world watched a teenage phenom battle for Olympic glory. Though he fell just short, losing the gold to Cuban sensation Robeisy Ramirez, he didn't leave empty-handed. He brought home a silver medal, the highest finish for an American male boxer in those games. But more importantly, he returned with fire in his eyes and the hunger of a champion denied. He later called it the most painful moment of his career, one that shaped his focus forever. On February 9th, 2017, Stevenson turned professional. Top Rank saw the future. Andre Ward joined as his manager. And just like that, the next chapter began. He debuted in April with a dominant technical decision win over Edgar Brito, a fight marred by headbutts and rough tactics, but still a showcase of his slick defense and ring IQ. Fight after fight, he moved like a ghost in the ring, untouchable, surgical. He dismantled Carlos Suarez in under 3 minutes at Madison Square Garden. He floored David Michel Paz with a piston left hand. He outclassed Patrick Riley and systematically picked apart Elio Mesquita. Each performance was a statement. He wasn't just another Olympian turning pro. He was here to rule. Analysts began to whisper comparisons. He's like a left-handed Floyd Mayweather, some said. Others pointed out his supreme ability to control distance, to shut down offense before it even started. By 2019, with only a dozen fights on his record, Shakur was fighting for a world title. His opponent? Joe Gonzalez, an undefeated contender with bad blood brewing, as his own sister was dating Stevenson. The tension was real, but Stevenson thrived in the spotlight. He boxed Gonzalez to a lopsided decision victory, claiming the vacant WBO featherweight title. He didn't just win. He humiliated a rival and cemented his name in the record books as the first male from the 2016 U.S. Olympic team to win a professional world title. But rather than stay and defend, he made a bold move up to super featherweight. It was a risk. Bigger fighters, harder punches. But he was chasing greatness, not comfort. In June 2020, he announced his arrival at 130 pounds by brutalizing Felix Caraballo, scoring a 6th-round knockout in a fanless arena during the early pandemic days. Despite the silence, the message was loud. The power carried up. Later that year, he faced Toka Khan Clary. It wasn't close. Stevenson outlanded him by over 100 punches, cruising to a shutout decision. The boxing purists applauded the performance. Clean, efficient, flawless. Over 1 million tuned in. The hype was growing. Then came Jeremiah Nakathila in June 2021. Ranked number 2 by the WBO, Nakathila had knockout power and a reputation for violence. Shakur nullified him completely, but at a cost. Critics slammed the fight as boring. Fans wanted a knockout, but got a masterclass in risk management. In October 2021, Jamal Herring stood in his way. An experienced champion, a former Marine, and a man who had just retired Carl Frampton. But Shakur came in sharp, laser-focused, and mean. From the opening bell, it was a symphony of speed, precision, and power. He battered Herring with sharp counters and combinations, forcing a 10th-round stoppage. Shakur Stevenson was now a 2-division world champion, and he looked better than ever. But he wasn't done. He wanted greatness. He wanted Oscar Valdez. The unification bout was set for April 2022. It was personal. Valdez had previously tested positive for a banned substance and was still allowed to fight. Shakur made sure the world knew. The build-up was electric. The result? Even more so. Shakur outclassed Valdez in every round. He scored a knockdown, peppered him with pinpoint jabs, and took home 3 belts: WBC, WBO, and the ring. It was one of the most lopsided unifications in recent history. Over 1.4 million people tuned in to witness the coronation. After the final bell, he dropped to one knee and proposed to his girlfriend in the ring, cementing the moment as one of triumph and love. Now at the pinnacle of the 130 pounds division, Stevenson was eyeing the lightweight elites. But first, one last defense at super featherweight. In September 2022, he faced Robson Conceição. Everything was set for a grand title defense, except the scales. Stevenson missed weight by 1.6 pounds. His titles were stripped. Though he dominated the fight, outlanding and outsmarting Robson in every round, the damage was done. His time at junior lightweight ended not in glory, but controversy. So he moved up, again, to lightweight, a division of sharks. The WBC ordered a title eliminator with Isaac Cruz. Cruz refused. William Zepeda was next, but negotiations stalled. Even at the top, few wanted a piece of Shakur Stevenson. Why? Because he's a puzzle nobody wants to solve. His style frustrates, neutralizes, and outsmarts even the most aggressive opponents. As Floyd Mayweather once said about great defense, "You can't beat what you can't touch." November 2023, Stevenson finally got a shot at the vacant WBC lightweight title against Edwin de Los Santos. It was a fight many expected to be fireworks, but it turned into a showcase of Shakur's defense. He held de Los Santos to an astonishing 40 landed punches over 12 rounds, a CompuBox record low in a championship fight. Fans debated the entertainment value, but there was no debating the skill. Now, Stevenson is an undefeated three-division world champion, the only American male from the 2016 Olympic team to reach such heights. Already, he's climbed high in pound-for-pound rankings, with some placing him in the top 5. But legacy isn't built on belts alone. Shakur wants names: Gervonta Davis, Vasyl Lomachenko, Devin Haney, the men who bring risk, fame, and immortality. His journey isn't just about winning. It's about domination. It's about proving that slick, strategic, cerebral boxing still has a place in the age of chaos. But behind the belts, the discipline, and the swagger. Who is Shakur Stevenson when the gloves come off? Behind the slick footwork and championship belts is a man learning to balance the brutal world of boxing with the tender, transformative experience of fatherhood. In December 2021, everything changed. In a quiet moment far removed from pay-per-view numbers and title fights, he cradled his newborn daughter, Leilani Asha Stevenson, for the first time. That moment didn't come with bright lights or roaring fans, but it may have been his most powerful yet. The fighter who had once battled Cuban legends and dominated world champions now found himself in a different kind of ring, one that demanded patience, presence, and a whole new level of heart. At the center of this new chapter stands Michelle Ragston, better known to the world as Young Lyric. A recording artist and model with her own loyal following, Lyric isn't just his partner, she's his match. Their relationship, forged in the limelight but strengthened in private, reflects the same intensity and ambition that defines both their careers. Lyric's music pulses with the same defiance and swagger that Shakur brings into the ring, and together, they've built more than a brand. They've built a home. He's not just fighting for titles anymore. He's fighting for legacy, for love for Leilani. And while the cameras may catch the knockouts and the belts, the real victories, the ones that matter most, are unfolding far from the spotlight. His journey hasn't been spotless. In 2022, just as he seemed untouchable in the super featherweight division, Stevenson hit a wall of his own making. On the eve of his title defense against Robson Conceição, he missed weight. By just 1.6 pounds, he lost everything. His WBC and WBO belts stripped before he even stepped into the ring. The sting wasn't just in the headlines or the backlash. It was in the realization that greatness demands more than talent. It demands perfection. Still, Shakur showed up and delivered a boxing clinic that night. But the belts? They were already gone. And then came the noise, online spats, and public criticisms. In 2024, a social media war erupted between Stevenson and former world champion Andre Berto. Shakur, never one to hold his tongue, reignited controversy by calling out Berto's past doping violation. Some praised his honesty, others called it petty. But love him or hate him, Stevenson never hides. But there's another side to Shakur, one that rarely makes the headlines. Outside the ring, he's building something greater than just a career. Endorsements with Reebok, PRIME, and SNAC are just the beginning. He's dipped into tequila promotions, and with his top-ranked contract ending, the stage is set for him to go solo, to create his own promotional empire, just like Floyd and Canelo before him. These days, the sound of the bell has been replaced, at least outside the ring, by the quiet hum of luxury cars and the clink of diamond-encrusted watches. His lifestyle is a reflection of everything he's earned and everything he never had growing up. He lives in a lavish home in his hometown of Newark, a $600,000 property he bought back in 2018, not far from the same streets that shaped his hunger. But the view from the top is much different now. Behind his gated driveway sit a fleet of high-end machines, an Aston Martin Vantage, a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, and a Mercedes-Benz S-Class, each a roaring symbol of his rise. Even his daily drives make a statement, with a Volvo XC90 and a BMW M Sport rounding out a garage built on sweat and sacrifice. But for him, it's never been just about flaunting wealth. It's about building legacy. He didn't stop at fight purses and pay-per-view numbers. With a sharp eye for business, Stevenson launched his own apparel brand, Brick City Boxing, a tribute to the city that raised him. The brand has quickly grown into a multi-million-dollar venture, turning fans into customers and boxers into walking billboards. Add to that endorsement deals with giants like Reebok, PRIME Hydration, and Powerade, and you begin to see the full scope of his financial empire. Even as his lifestyle soars into private jets and first-class living, Stevenson's roots remain firmly planted in giving back. Through the Stevenson and Moses Boxing for Life Foundation, he pours time and money into mentoring Newark's youth, offering them gloves, guidance, and a shot at something better. He remembers what it felt like to have nothing but a dream, and he's making sure others have more than just a dream to hold on to. But beneath the glitz, the success, and the spotlight lies a bigger question. Now that he's conquered the business world and the boxing ring, what comes next for Shakur Stevenson? Before you go, don't miss out on exclusive perks. Click the link in the description to become a channel member and enjoy awesome benefits, like suggesting future video topics, getting early access to new content 48 hours before anyone else, and much more. Your support means the world and helps us keep bringing you the stories you love. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more amazing content. And while you're here, why not check out our deep dive into Teofimo Lopez's video? Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.